our channel, or if you're new, I'm Becca.
And I'm Soph.
Together we are Becca and Soph. That also happens to be our Instagram. We'll put it on the screen here. Go follow us and subscribe if you haven't already. So firstly, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So this is our first video we're filming in the new year, which is very exciting. So in today's video, what are we talking about?
We are talking about budgeting. It's a quick video just to tell you like our top tips and what budgeting is. Just like what we did really.
Yeah,
Passing
exactly.
some advice.
Hi, sorry, just jumping in from the end of the video, we forgot to say, obviously this is not financial advice, like we're just two people that want to help share our advice that we've learned, and yeah, this is not like, we're not financial advisors, not financial advice. Okay,
No,
enjoy
just
the
our
video,
tips.
bye! So, to start with, what is budgeting?
So you tend to have a set amount of money and you've got to make it last over time. So to budget, you have to set like weekly allowances for yourself or monthly allowances, and just to like make sure you're within your limits and don't go overboard.
So basically the main aim for budgeting is to not spend above your means. So you might have like income coming in every week, or income like at the start of the month or end of the month or the start of the term if it's uni, and you want to not spend over that amount. So here are some tips and tricks that we've learned of how to do that. So for college, you don't really have to budget that much. Well, we didn't anyway. So it's mainly just for meals and for like doing things with friends, going out, that kind of thing that you have to budget for. But at uni, like if you're moving out of home, the budgeting kicks in like mad. Yeah,
it does.
It's the first time really, isn't it, that you...
Yeah, so even though it's a lot to get used to like living independently and stuff, you also have to deal with money, which is a huge new concept really for most people.
Yeah.
So to break it down, you get your student loan.
Yeah, what income do you have then?
So I personally had a student loan, and other people don't, and their family pay them some money, for example. But it tends to be that you get your large amount of money at the beginning of each term.
So just to confirm, you get like pretty much a full, so like I'm pretty sure ours was a full student loan for the actual tuition.
Tuition fees are
But
covered,
you also get like a smaller student loan, like I think, what was
Maintenance
ours?
loan.
Yeah, like 3 or 4
4
grand
for the year,
yeah, something like that. And yeah, like Sophie said, that's a maintenance loan, so that's like for you.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have to just, you know, make that last, and that's the minimum amount, and then depending on like your household income, it increases.
Correct. So say you have this large amount of money at the beginning of the term, some people go crazy buying too many drinks on a night out. But what you've got to think about is that terms can be 11 weeks long, some shorter obviously, some a bit longer. Then also you have a few weeks over Christmas, for example, before the next amount of money comes through. So you actually have a number of weeks where you've got to
yeah, definitely. So first thing I do is split it out compared to like the weeks. So Sophie, you said you had like a weekly allowance?
Yeah. So I gave myself £100 a week, and that includes food and just living life.
So other income you could have, we'll talk about this more later, but you could have like job income, family members could help you out, or you could be on like a scholarship and stuff like that. But yeah, in terms of like a weekly plan, so Sophie had £100 a week. I had, I think, less because well, it depends. In first year I probably did about £100 a week, but in like second and third year I think I did £50 a week.
Wow, that's so good,
because there wasn't really much to do in Warwick compared to in Birmingham. And obviously it completely depends. Like I know people who spent a lot more than that every week and a lot less as well, so like you can make whatever, but the ways to do that, like you can definitely spend less if you want to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But
just
you can
don't go on nights out.
easily spend more. Well, that's the thing. I think nights out are the most expensive part of you.
I do too. Okay,
so if per term you get like the student loan and that's what you're going off, then I think it's always good to have like an extra 100 or 200 as well, in excess of what you think you'll spend, because some weeks you'll spend more and some weeks you'll spend less, so hopefully it balances out overall. But I think it's always good to save that extra just so you're not panicking.
Yeah, because something could happen where you've just got to pay £100 for something.
Like if you've got your car with you at uni, which neither of us did, but if you did, then you know something might go wrong, that's an extra £200 or whatever, then it's like, well, where does that money come from? So I definitely have extra. Also, it's important to know if you're living in accommodation, like student accommodation, you often have to pay like a big deposit.
Yeah, it's normally a month's worth.
Yeah, or a month and a half. I think the max they can charge you is 6 weeks, like legally, but I will check that and put it on screen if it's different. So make sure you include that in your budget as well. There's always hidden fees with everything.
Of course.
Just be prepared for like, have a savings account or have like an emergencies pot of money.
And I think if you have that pot, say on 1 week I only spent £50, I'd put the other 50 into that pot.
Don't
I wouldn't just roll it
spend
over.
for the sake of it.
Or treat myself on a Sunday just because I'm like,
well, a lot of people do that
over.
though. Like, and I think it's nice to do that sometimes, but like maybe like once a year sort of thing.
Yeah,
or
be sensible about it.
Exactly.
If you've managed to not spend your whole allowance that week, try and save it.
And then in terms of saving, I think obviously always really important to save. We're going to do another video, like another short video on saving as well, and like the ways to do it and the different methods. But I think whilst at uni, to be honest with you, unless you've got like a job or another income, it's so hard to save.
It's
like
difficult.
The student loan like doesn't cover you really, so you really need to think of ways that you can save as well.
So how to stick to your budget each week. We have a few top tips. So mine would be share your food shop and meals with people. You'll tend to work out that in your house or your flat, people eat at the same time as you or maybe have the same sort of food as you. So go to the shops with them on a Sunday or a Monday.
And go to the cheaper shops if you
Aldi
can.
or Lidl.
Aldi or Lidl.
Like plan your meals, think about what you need, buy it together and then cook together, like take it in turns or cook as a house sometimes. I just think food can sometimes be really expensive if you do it all alone.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Well, I think food's, other than going out, food's like the second biggest expense at uni. For me, it was like probably the biggest expense because we didn't really go out that much, and if we did, we'd pre-drink a lot anyway. So like going out, like it wasn't like Birmingham where you got loads of choice, there wasn't much choice. But in terms of like what kind of meals you could do, things that I'd always like do some like nicer meals, and then some just like really standard boring meals that you won't really want. Yeah, like pasta and stuff that's like cheap and cheerful, and that you can have, and it costs like X of like nothing.
Yeah.
And there's loads of like student cookbooks and stuff like that it gives you like the breakdown of how much it is per meal, which I love that.
Really Nosh for Students.
Yeah,
that's
my
favorite
the one.
Cookbook.
I'll put the picture of it here so you can go buy it. But we both had that, and I mean, it might not be that good like later on, but to start with, it's good to just give you ideas, because if you're like us and you're used to like your parents just deciding what to eat every night sort of thing, and you're not having too much input, it's quite hard to think of meals and like healthy meals as well with vegetables.
Yeah, and then speaking of meals, don't go into campus and buy your meals every lunchtime from there.
Yeah.
You'll save so much money if you just make your meals at home.
Yeah, or worst case scenario, meal deal. Like £3 meal deal, because they are like the saviour, I think, for like trying to stick to a budget, because on campus you easily spend like, I think minimum like £7.
Well, if there's a Costa or a Starbucks, it's going to be
like
much.
£12.
Yeah,
like it's hard to save when you're buying lots of really nice food, and that goes for like eating meals out as well. Like if you've got like someone's birthday or whatever and you're eating out that week, then try and save in other areas. And I'd say it's fine to go over your budget like sometimes, but just for the most part, make sure you're staying under. And if you're consistently going over, then you've got to reevaluate and think, okay, do I need to change my budget, or is this literally what I can afford and I need to cut back?
Yeah.
Okay, and then final ways to stick to your budget is transport. So what don't we get?
Taxis or
it's
Ubers.
Unsafe. Obviously, if you have to, like you're on a night out and you're on your whatever, like you've got to. But I'd say if you're just being lazy, you can walk there, you can get the bus, like do that, or train.
I got too many Ubers in first and second year.
Because you're lazy, or because you had to?
Obviously the safety ones, like you have to.
Yeah.
But laziness as well.
You see, I feel like if you're in London, you don't really do that. But if you're like at any other uni, like we were at Warwick and Birmingham, you definitely do. And it's really hard not to, and it's especially tempting like if your friends are doing it. I feel like that makes it better because you're splitting
it. Yeah.
But if it's just you, and you could definitely walk there and you're being lazy, like just do it, I think.
Yeah, I have examples. So I finished a dance class one time at 10:30 and I was walking home alone, unsafe, and I was calling my parents just like have someone to speak to, and they said next time get an Uber.
Yeah.
So obviously from then on, after every dance class that went on that late, I got an Uber.
Yeah.
But then another time, for example, I could be trying to get to New Street Station from Selly Oak, and I'd just be like, oh, let's get an Uber. But really, you can hop on the train for £2, £1.70 or something.
No, it literally is.
So just think about it.
Yeah.
Like, take more time if you need to get there, but find a cheaper way of getting there. Don't always get Ubers.
As long as it's safe, Stop being lazy. Just do it. Okay, and then final tip, just make sure you write your budget down somewhere. So YouTuber we love is Patricia Bright, and she's got The Break as well, which is like her company. I'll link them all below. And she's got like a budget plan that you can buy for like £1 or £2, which looks great. Or like I made one myself on Excel, like when I moved to this flat, for like bills, what our income was, what council tax is and everything like that, and like tried to work out how much money we can spend on like a food shop and like generally, and make sure you include things like Spotify, Netflix, like any subscriptions that you have.
Things you don't think about at first.
Phone contract, like you've got to budget those in as well. So maybe on screen we can put like a mock-up what a budget would look like.
Good idea.
Just so you can like have a bit of an idea if you didn't want to spend like the £1 or £2. But even if you write it down like on paper, just try and get it down somewhere and make sure, you know, every week or every month you look back and see whether you have stuck to it.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope that you found our top tips useful. We are going to do another video, as Becca said, all about savings. So make sure you head to that after this and just start the year off right with your budgeting and saving.
Yeah, absolutely. Stick to it. We'll be watching. I'm joking. But just hold yourself accountable.